You know that feeling, right? That quiet, almost deafening silence after you've put your intention out into the universe. You've done the visualizing, you've felt it as real, and now you're just here, in the gap, the in-between. So let's talk about what's really going on in that silence.
And this is the question that just eats at you, doesn't it? It's that little voice that starts whispering, was any of that real? Did I just make it all up? This feeling of emptiness, of constantly checking for a sign and getting nothing back, well, that's the most critical point in your whole journey. And honestly, it's built on a total misunderstanding of what this phase is all about.
I want you to just let this sink in for a second. The entire idea of a waiting period is a trick your mind plays on you. You are not passively sitting on the sidelines waiting for a delivery to show up. No. You are in the middle of the most active, the most powerful, the most transformative part of this entire process. This isn't a pause button. This is the main event. What you're actually experiencing is something called recalibration. Think of it this way. You placed an order for a totally new reality. But the universe doesn't just, box it up and ship it to your old address. It has to upgrade you to be the person who can sign for the package. The old identity, the one who asked from a place of not having it, that version of you has to dissolve. And a new one, the one who sees your desire as just normal, that's what's being built right now.
And this right here is the exact point where most people give up. It's where they sabotage themselves. That silence starts to feel like absence, so they panic. They start frantically checking for results, they start doubting, they start worrying, and every time they do that, they're basically sending a signal that says, you know what, never mind, this is too uncomfortable, I'm just going to go back to being the person I was before. They hit the eject button on their own transformation.
So if you're not just waiting around, what on earth is actually happening behind the scenes? Well, this whole recalibration phase is driven by three incredibly powerful things that are all happening at once, just under the surface.
First, reality itself is literally reorganizing to match your new internal state. Second, your own stability is being tested and strengthened. And third, all that internal resistance you have to actually getting what you want, it's finally dissolving. Okay, let's break these down because this is where it gets really good. Okay, first up, reality reorganizing. You have to understand the world is moving, even if you don't see it. Right now, people you haven't met are having conversations that will lead them to you. Opportunities are changing course, timelines are bending and converging to create the perfect path. It's like this grand, invisible choreography, setting the entire stage for your desire to make its entrance. This second process, it's all about you. The universe is basically asking, so, are you serious about this? Can you hold the state of being the person who has this before you see any proof in the outside world? Now, this isn't a punishment, it's a refinement. It's forging you into someone whose inner certainty is so rock solid that you just don't need that constant validation from the outside anymore.
And that brings us to the third process, which is so important. That annoying feeling of impatience, that sudden wave of doubt that hits you out of nowhere, that is not a sign that you are failing. It's the exact opposite. It's all the old programming, the fears, the limiting beliefs, the I'm not good enough. It's all coming to the surface to finally be released. It's like static clearing from a radio station. So when you feel it, recognize it for what it is, a sign of progress, not a problem.
You see how all of these unseen processes, the world rearranging, your stability being tested, your resistance dissolving, they all point back to one single central truth. The real work here isn't about what you're doing. It's about who you are becoming. It's all about an identity shift.
Just look at the difference here. The old identity, the one that's waiting, it's constantly checking for results, looking over its shoulder for proof. It thinks of the desire like it's something way over there, separate from you. It's always asking, when is it coming? It lives in hope. But the new identity, the one that's receiving, it is the proof. It thinks from the end result. It doesn't ask when because it knows with this deep, quiet certainty that it's already done. This shift right here, this is everything.
So what's your actual job during this phase? It's really simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Your role is to stabilize this new identity, to consciously let go of the obsession with when. Your job is to treat your inner world as the primary reality, to refine your thoughts and feelings. And most of all, your job is to trust. To trust that just because you can't see the gears turning doesn't mean the whole machine isn't working perfectly on your behalf.
And when you really commit to this inner work, something amazing starts to happen. That desperate, needy feeling of wanting and that anxious feeling of waiting, it just dissolves.
and it gets replaced by a totally new feeling, a feeling that lets you know you're in the final stage.
This is the ultimate reframe. That period you used to call waiting, it was never a delay. It was a transformation chamber. It was the necessary crucible for you to become the person for whom your desire could actually be a normal, everyday reality. You had to go through it to become it. And here's the beautiful, final piece of the puzzle. When your manifestation actually shows up in your physical world, it's not going to feel like this shocking, crazy miracle. It won't even feel all that new. Because after the recalibration is complete, its arrival will just feel normal, natural, and more than anything, inevitable. Like, oh, there it is, as if it was always yours. Because now, finally, it is.